Good evening, I'm Jason Vio. Katarina is away tonight. This is CBC Windsor News. Thanks for joining us. A changing market has led to a shift in production plans at Windsor's Nexstar plant. The first batteries that will be made at what was once dubbed Canada's largest automotive investment will not be going into electric vehicles. The CBC's Chris Ensing explains.
The massive battery plant in Windsor is shifting production. The first batteries off the line won't power vehicles. Instead, there'll be a vehicle for power. Nexstar is prioritizing energy storage system batteries, capable of storing power for future use. These batteries connect to the power grid. Electricity gets pulled from the grid and stored to use later. Companies could pull and store power when electricity costs less, and then use that power during peak times when power from the grid costs more. These batteries can also be used to send power back to the grid, like during high-demand events or power outages. They can also be used to store power generated by wind turbines or solar panels. Nexstar says they remain committed to hiring 2,500 workers at the plant, hitting 1,000 employees last month.
We are the best place in the world to produce these EV batteries.
This project was first announced as the largest automotive investment in Canadian history, with the country positioning itself as a leader in electric vehicle production. But the market never materialized. Sales of Stellantis' all-electric Dodge Charger never took off, the automaker pivoting to a gas version this year, and a national policy requiring 1 in 5 new vehicles sold next year to be zero emissions has been paused. Nexstar says it will be able to ramp up battery production for vehicles at the plant, but now it's focusing on new, evolving markets, betting that AI data centers and energy grids are looking for energy stability. Thousands of spin-off jobs were promised as part of the supply chain for this battery plant. One auto supplier that's spending $300 million on a new facility in Windsor says this doesn't change a thing. Minth Group says they're making good progress on their auto part production center and anticipating 1,000 new jobs. LG Energy, which owns 51% of Nexstar, is already doing this split at a factory in Michigan, and it expects to continue to receive a $25 subsidy from the Canadian and Ontario governments for every battery made in Windsor, regardless of where it ends up. That contract allows for up to $15 billion in subsidies paid based on the production of batteries at Nexstar.
Joining us today is the Honourable Mélanie Joly.
These deals have become a focus of committee hearings in Ottawa after Stellantis announced plans to shift production of the Jeep Compass from Brampton to Illinois. The government saying today they'll claw back money invested to retool the operation if the production doesn't return.
This is the start of the dispute resolution process.
Back at Nexstar, mass production of storage batteries is expected to begin this month. Chris Ensing, CBC News, Windsor.
Did you know there's an airport in Essex? Well, it's for sale, along with the home that sits on the 10 acres of land. As Jacob Barker explains, the family is looking for a special kind of buyer.
This is the Essex Airport, and it was the vision of a man who wanted to have his family home and an airport in his backyard, and now it's up for sale. But those who are selling it say they're not going to until they find the right buyer.
Between this hangar and the other hangar, that's where all these airplanes were sitting. I think there was like...
Sifting through memories at the back of an airport hangar, a place that's dear to Paul Harrington Jr. and his sister, Debbie Taylor.
Here's me right here. I'm on the roof of the hangar taking a picture and video of the airplanes that were flying over. So that I was right into it.
The 10-acre property is off a dirt road in Essex and is listed for just under $1.9 million. On it lies 3 airplane hangars, an airstrip, and the Harrington family home, a property imagined by Paul Harrington Sr.
Our parents had a dream of one day of having their airplane behind their house.
Well, Dad's dream.
Yeah, well, yeah. But Mom was also very supportive.
The airport was established in 1978. Harrington Sr. went so far as to get it federally licensed.
This is a very unique piece of land.
Yeah.
You know, it's different. And it's not something you see every day.
Harrington Jr. and Taylor are 2 of 3 siblings that grew up here, along with their father and mother, Anne. Harrington Sr. would service and repair planes that would land there, and was also known for his generosity and his passion for flying.
And our dad was really amazing when it came to pricing. He wanted everybody to enjoy this hobby.
Yeah.
The airport was also known for its fly-ins, where pilots would gather for some social time, some driving in, others landing.
Kind of like a car show, but with airplanes. And they'd fly in. Everybody would bring a dish to share with everybody. And our parents would have hot dogs and hamburgers and everything for everybody.
The siblings lost their father in 2020 and their mother in 2024. Harrington Jr. has been caring for the property more recently, and as a trained mechanic, he'll even fix the occasional plane that flies in. With the property up for sale, he says he's ready to move on.
This is my 6th summer cutting grass, but I've enjoyed it, but I'm 61 years old now, and it's time to hang up the lawnmower, so to speak.
Harrington Jr. says there has been interest in the property, even some from overseas, but so far the right person hasn't stepped forward.
Well, and ideally we would love it to go to another pilot.
Yeah.
That would be our dad's dream.
That's what we're holding out for.
The hope to preserve the memory of what their family built here, the legacy of the Essex Airport. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Essex.
Riley joins us now for a quick look at weather. Riley, not a bad day today, but pretty windy towards the later part.
Yeah, Jason, the story of the day, definitely the winds, bit of rain in there too. Back into a mostly clear sky now that we've gone through sunset here, and radar even indicating the potential for even some thunderstorm activity closer to the GTA. So for southwestern Ontario, for Windsor overnight tonight, looking at a temperature around 4 degrees. We have seen that clearing happen, but winds out of the west gusting up to 50 as we get through the overnight hours. Bit of cloud cover starts to roll in as we get through the day into Tuesday. Looking at another above seasonal day tomorrow, high around 14 degrees. Again, starting windy, Jason. Southwest winds 15 gusting to 30 by the time we get into the afternoon. Bit more precipitation on the way in your long range forecast. I'll go into details in a little bit.
All right, we'll see you later. Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
A 19-year-old woman is dead after being hit by an OPP cruiser. The collision happened in the early hours of Sunday morning. The woman was walking along County Road 20 near Harrow when she was struck. An OPP officer from the Essex County Detachment was driving. The woman was taken to hospital where she was later pronounced dead. The incident is being investigated by the Special Investigations Unit. The oversight body is mandated to do so when occurrences like this involve police. Well, the minority Liberal government is set to deliver its first budget on Tuesday, and it's not clear whether it will garner enough support to pass. As Olivia Stefanovich reports, the Carney government's survival is at stake.
In a break with tradition, the federal finance minister making his own footwear before delivering a budget meant to build up the economy.
This is a moment where, Canadians should be proud that these shoes have been made by folks here in Canada, made in Canada for Canada. Same shoes that the RCMP officers are wearing across our nation.
But in an effort to continue that momentum and make the country more resilient, the federal government is planning to spill red ink. Lots of it, in the hopes it will turn black.
On a réussi. Merci.
CBC News has learned the budget will include tens of billions of dollars in savings over the coming years. Changes to make the tax structure pro-competition and pro-growth. A new tax credit for businesses to write off investments in equipment or other assets that boost productivity. And a halving of the Trudeau-era plan to plant 2 billion trees by 2031.
The budget tomorrow is all about, it's an investment budget. It's a generational shift.
Mr. Speaker, tomorrow will be the 10th costly Liberal budget.
With the deficit expected somewhere between $70 and $100 billion, opposition parties aren't yet saying how they'll vote, but they are laying out conditions.
The choice for us is simple. If a budget brings down the cost of living, we'll support it.
It sounds like he's bargaining with himself.
The minority Liberals only need 3 votes from outside their party to pass their economic plan. If they fall short, the government will fall.
I don't think Canadians want an election, that's for sure. And my own view is I don't think Canada needs an election right now. That's why I've said it's up to Mr. Carney. I mean, he has to draft a budget as a Prime Minister in a minority parliament that earns the support of one other party. And that's his job.
The government has a few weeks to earn that support. A vote isn't expected until mid-November, the first federal budget in 18 months. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
The Carney government has already made several announcements about its first budget, including new support for industries impacted by U.S. tariffs. But small businesses say they need help too. Nisha Patel now on what they hope to see Tuesday when the full budget details are released.
Steve Malia was shooting for the moon with his telescope business, but these days trade uncertainty is keeping him grounded.
On the manufacturing side, we've seen the demand for our products drop. This is probably our most popular scope right now.
He's scrambled to secure new customers beyond the U.S. and find new supply chains as tariffs raise costs and lower his sales. He hopes tomorrow's federal budget will help take some of the pressure off.
What I would like to see is programs in place for smaller businesses where you don't have to be making a certain amount of revenue every year.
The federal government has already announced a $5 billion fund to help companies tap different export markets and retrain workers, plus a $1 billion regional tariff response for small businesses, but only if they have more than 5 employees. Meanwhile, some sectors like autos, steel, and forestry are being hit harder than others.
Some companies don't have the financial wherewithal to make it through. So some companies probably won't survive. There's a few that stopped already, and it's very unfortunate.
Thank you. You too. The wish list from the business community is wide-ranging, from confirming the increased threshold to the lifetime capital gains exemption to lowering the small business tax rate.
A lot of businesses are, have not had a regular month of sales in 5 years when you include the pandemic-related concerns that business owners have had. So a lot of them are hanging on by a thread right now.
That continuing uncertainty especially tough for small businesses.
It's like the big guys will be okay, but the little guy is going to get potentially stamped out.
Unless the federal budget provides more relief. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Bolton, Ontario.
A local landmark celebrated a big birthday today. The Windsor-Detroit Tunnel is officially 95 years old. We spoke with the CEO of the Windsor-Detroit Borderlink to look back at how it was built.
There was a lot of dirt that was taken out. Again, you think about just the equipment that was done. Most of it was taken out by hand on these little carts, and you rolled it out on little railway ties that were lined up. Pretty ancient technology that was used. Big haulers didn't exist. It was a lot of manual labor and hauling dirt out one small cart at a time. They dredged a path in the base of the Detroit River, lowered these enormous cylinders, connected them, and then covered them. The legend has it that the measuring was so precise that there was only about 2 inches of difference when they had to connect the cylinders together. When it was originally built, the idea was for it to last 100 years. 35 years ago, the city of Windsor and the city of Detroit decided, hey, this is a spectacular part of our two communities. So each side decided we're going to continue to put capital investments in. So the idea is 55 years from today, at least, and my hope and expectation over the next 20 years, the two cities get together and say, let's continue to put some money in.
Well, the Oreo brand is introducing some new flavors to celebrate the American Thanksgiving. Cranberry sauce, pumpkin pie, and apple caramel pie are some interesting choices to twist, lick, and dunk. There's also sweet potato and cream corn flavors, but how about Oreo cookies covered in fudge that taste like turkey and gravy? These limited edition flavors are inspired by the holiday season. Americans celebrate Thanksgiving on November 27th. A live look outside, and with the time change over the weekend, daylight savings, we're now looking at a darker evening for us here at this time. We'll have your full weather forecast coming up a little later in the show, but right after the break, we'll have some more news for you. Stay with us. A retired truck driver has been hit with a big bill for a vehicle he sold months ago. Experts say it could happen to almost any private seller in provinces that haven't closed a legal loophole. Rosa Marcatelli from our Go Public team has the story.
Yeah, you can see we're a little bit into the car culture.
Daryl Nash is a car guy. He's bought and sold plenty of vehicles over the years. The last one was in the spring. An aging Acura with more than 300,000 kilometers and a list of mechanical issues. He sold it for $500 cash.
Two adult people made a deal, shook hands, signed papers, and transferred money. That should be the end of it.
But it wasn't. Months later, Nash says he was blindsided by a towing and storage bill for a vehicle he no longer owned, more than $1,500 by the time he opened it. The SUV had been abandoned on the side of the road and was still registered in Nash's name.
The tow truck company pretty much said that, well, we'll just send it to collections and you'll end up paying it because it'll ruin your credit.
Because the buyer never registered the vehicle, Nash is still legally responsible for it. What he calls a terrifying loophole in the law that leaves sellers on the hook for fines, towing, even criminal liability. Turns out that loophole is an easy fix if provinces are willing to do it.
A lot of provinces have the same gap, as I understand it. It would be a simple fix just to make it a mandatory transfer at the time of sale.
A simple fix, yet very few provinces have closed the loophole. Those that have require both the buyer and the seller to register the sale with the province, taking the seller's name off the record and avoiding any confusion.
How simple is that? I could totally get behind that, okay?
But despite how simple it sounds, Nash's home province of BC and others tell Go Public they aren't planning any changes.
I know it looks terrible, but it runs.
Nash says he's refusing to pay a bill for a car he no longer owns for a buyer he can't find anymore. Rosa Marcatelli, CBC News, Calgary.
More than 80 years after a Canadian soldier was killed fighting Nazi troops in Italy, his family has returned to the scene of his final battle. They were drawn there by an accidental discovery, a dusty duffel bag. Megan Williams explains.
North Nova Scotia Highlanders.
Local historian Michele Facchini reads the name of the Second World War regiment Hector Colin MacDonald penned on his duffel bag 8 decades ago. Along with the battles, the coal miner from Cape Breton survived.
We have Sicily, Italy continental, and then we have Ortona, very important battle, Cassino.
The most brutal offenses of the Italian campaign. Facchini was searching fields for battle remnants when this farmer showed him a dusty bag.
Hector Colin MacDonald left his duffel bag here in December 1944 as he moved on with his regiment to try to push the Germans over the Limone River.
Where in mid-December, MacDonald, just shy of 29, was killed on this bridge when he stepped on a German mine. One of some 550 Canadians who perished in the campaign through freezing, mud-choked terrain to liberate the Ravenna area near the Adriatic coast in central Italy. Memories of that time are still alive. A school turned hospital, frescoes to lift spirits in the former canteen, Christmas held in the town market basement.
The feeling, I guess, in one word would be heavy. It feels driving this whole route and following the route that everyone took, and that I know he walked for sure, and that his belonging was found in this very yard.
Stacey Jordan from Kingston, Ontario, is MacDonald's great-great-niece, here to honor Hector, or Hecky as he was called. Another local researcher spent weeks tracking down Jordan's mother, who messaged back immediately.
All it said was, he was my great uncle.
With Hector MacDonald's wartime duffel bag now in the hands of Jordan, it will be heading back home to a family that never forgot his sacrifice. Megan Williams, CBC News, Russi, Italy.
We'll be right back with Riley with more weather after the break. And Riley joins us now for a live look at weather. And Riley, the time change is sure something to get used to, but I'm glad we gained an hour, I think, instead of losing one, which is always, a lot worse.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did the kids get the memo?
They did,
on that one.
Yeah, but now they want to go to bed later because they're like, it's only 6 o'clock, but really it's 7, or it was, So we're trying to negotiate that at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of give us a bit of a reset here, here's where we've come with our sunset times here. So today, sun setting at 5:22 in the afternoon. So yeah, it's early. We're getting back into the swing of things here, and that sunset will decrease as we get toward the winter solstice in 3 weeks from now, just ahead or just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon for that sunset. So, yep, sign of the changing seasons. Just a good reminder just to kind of reset ourselves and reground ourselves here as we get into the coming months here. Temperatures 12 degrees still in Windsor, Chatham, Kent 11, London at 10 degrees. Very seasonal, actually a couple degrees above seasonal for daytime highs for this time of the year. But the story today has really been the winds and how gusty they've been on the backside of that frontal system that brought a few showers through the region earlier today. Some very gusty winds, and behind that, Windsor are getting a gust up to 61 this afternoon. Almost some 70s into cottage country this afternoon. So it's all because of what's happening in our upper level winds here. So we've got a ridge back into the U.S. and a trough that started to form over northern Ontario and Quebec. And so the jet stream, as it comes through here, introducing some very gusty winds really everywhere from southern Manitoba, southern Saskatchewan, right through the Midwest and into southern Ontario. Clear skies, that's kind of the trade-off we got today, was a fairly sunny sky. As we get into Tuesday, though, we'll start to introduce a bit of cloud cover. I do think as we get through the afternoon, perhaps not cloudy all day, but we'll get some peaks of sunshine in there, but clouds will feature as we get through the next couple of days here. And out of some of this cloud cover, particularly as we get later Wednesday, I do think we do have the chance of running into at least a few showers here and there, which I'll show you in your 5-day in just a moment. Winds do start to back off as we get into the day tomorrow, so seeing gusts still up to 50 as we get through the night tonight. More like 15 gusting 30 as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, with the odd gust in there up to 40 or 50 kilometers an hour. Temperatures as we start the day into Tuesday around 5-6 degrees. Very seasonal for this time of the year. Usually we should be around 4 or 5. And then in the long range, looking at 16 for Wednesday, good chance of some showers late day into early Thursday. Clouds still into Thursday, and our next chance of some showers, Jason, coming as we get into Friday.
All right, mid-teens, looking good. Thanks so much, Riley.
You're welcome.
Have a good night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
See ya.